Hello and welcome to this short little video. I'm just going to go over some things I made mistakes on in my ranged video, which I'd like to say was incredibly successful. Thank you for watching. I'm glad a lot of you learned a lot, and I also learned a lot while making the video because a few people brought up things that I had either forgotten or left out incorrectly because I just forgot about it. So I'm going to make this a shorter video since while I did forget some crucial stuff, it's mainly this one thing, and we're just going to say it right now. It's burst bowstring. If you don't know what burst bowstring is, it is an enchantment that after you roll, I have it actually on this bow right here. I'm playing the tower. When you roll, you shoot 3 arrows. It only works on charged. It only works on bows. You shoot 3 charged arrows. They do 40% damage, and you hit 3, and you do 3 arrows per roll, and it costs 1 arrow. You can see on this bow, and you can start to connect things, that's important because this is a charged shot, which means it triggers cooldown shot. This shoots 3 arrows compared to your usual 1 for the only cost of the cost of 1 arrow. So every single roll is, quick math, 4.5 seconds off of your roll cooldown, which is that's quite a lot. Roll cooldown, sorry, off of your artifact cooldown. That's quite a lot. It's quite helpful. And I completely forgot about it in the original video because I tend to use armor with 100% longer roll cooldown, like full metal armor. That is my bad. That is my mistake. I just completely forgot. I apologize. And yes, I'm definitely try burst bowstring out. It's great. You don't need it. Like, I wouldn't say put it on the power bows. Only thing you can put it on of the power bows is the Winter's Touch, because Winter's Touch is just broken in every way. Because if you're picking up what I'm putting down, Winter's Touch applies to, like, shoots 3 arrows for every charged shot. You're shooting 3 charged shots, which means you have 9 arrows, which means 9 times 1.5, do whatever math that is. That's how much time you get taken off of your artifact cooldown. So it's kind of broken, pretty unfair. I just wasted those souls, and I don't have a totem, and I just wasted those souls too. I am not playing this section well. I am not playing this section well. Please don't kill me. Sorry, I had to get quiet. I did not want to goof up there. Anyways, yes, burst bowstring, Winter's Touch, cooldown shot. That's incredibly great. Burst bowstring in general is a very broken enchantment. Highly recommend you use it if you can, and if you are a fan of rolling. I'm going to try it out. On my main build, though, it's probably still going to stay off, just because my build is not compatible with rolling. And if yours isn't either, or you just don't like rolling, then yeah, the original video stands. So that's fine. If you are a fan of rolling, then definitely try burst bowstring out with cooldown shot. It's super effective, and you don't need to have the support bows because it doesn't factor charge time at all, so the short bows don't matter that much. You're reducing your damage anyway, so I don't recommend using burst bowstring for damage. You'd only use the power bow because Winter's Touch shoots 3 arrows. Otherwise, you're just looking for those helpful built-ins. Pink Scoundrel. I completely forgot about the game I was playing. I almost died there. That would have been terrible. But yeah, Pink Scoundrel with Wild Rage, Ricochet. That's premier burst bowstring support stuff. I guess premier stuff. The premier support for burst bowstring is Winter's Touch because of those arrows. In general, the Winter's Touch is the wither armor of the bows. And if you know me, you know that's actually not... I realized at the end. Oh, well, here we go. Alright, time to not struggle anymore. What was I saying? Yes, Winter's Touch is the wither armor of bows. It's super good, it's super broken. I like it more because I think it looks cooler and it's slightly more fair. No, that's a complete lie. It's not fair at all. It's so broken. But, you know what? I like it. I like it. It gives bows... It makes bows usable. And bows are already usable. It just makes it very usable. So, yeah. If you don't like Winter's Touch, or you just don't really want to use the most broken thing, then... I mean... Ouch. Then yeah, Pink Scoundrel would be really good for a support bow, and most of the time you're not... If you want to use it for power, still go with the power bows with Overcharge, because Overcharge does not trigger with Burst Bowstring. Am I dying again? Who's killing me? These Trident guys do so much. Anyways, yeah. Sorry, I keep repeating myself since I'm not really paying attention to what I'm saying. I'm paying attention to the game. Yeah, there we go. Snowbow, Burst Bowstring. Shockweb would also apply. If you didn't know, Shockweb makes a web of electricity between your last 2 charged shots. They shoot to multiple charged shots. All that. This isn't an actual Winter's Touch though, so I'm not going to pick it up. We're going to go with this instead. We'll do this. I need the area damage for the Redstone Monstrosity to get his little cubes. Anyways, yeah, that's the main thing with Burst Bowstring. I put a lot of emphasis on that in this mistakes video because that definitely was my biggest mistake in that video. If you're wondering about Roll Charge, which is kind of similar to Burst Bowstring, where after you roll, your next shots for 3 seconds are automatically charged. Sorry, I stuttered through that, but we made it. The reason I don't actually like that as much, it's because you'd still be sacrificing... You'd still have to shoot your bow just like a crossbow. Yes, it'll do more damage, but it's not... I mean, just overcharge if you're looking for damage, quite frankly. So... And if you're gonna roll, you might as well use Burst Bowstring. That's my logic. So if you like rolling, go with Burst Bowstring over Roll Charge. I guess you could put them on the same thing, but that's kind of redundant. But whatever floats your boat. Sorry, I hope the button clicks are not super loud. And I'm getting Shockwave instead of Void Strike because I'm going to show off our next thing. I forgot, I haven't talked about it yet. So another thing I've neglected to mention in the first video was Void Strike, which in general is a very strong enchantment on melees and bows. However, I tend to prefer it on melees because when you look at the game, it actually will tell you that Void Strike on melees is a 600% max boost compared to the bows, which is 300% max boost. So, yeah, in general, I assumed originally, without knowing of the thing I'm about to talk about, I assumed that melee was just better. However, if you don't know about Void Strike, you hit the mob, it applies the voided effect to them, and then depending on the time until the next attack is how much more damage you'll do. And after you hit the mob, it's supposed to reset that little timer. If you put Void Strike on a bow, it actually doesn't reset when you hit them with melee. And I don't know if that's a glitch. I assumed it was, and that's why I left it out. I think the term's called glue strike. I could be wrong. I know that's a term. It might be something else though. So if it is something else, I apologize. That is big whoops. But gosh, I'm sorry. I'm tired. And I'm playing the tower. And you guys already know I don't like this tower. Anyways, yeah, glue strike. I'll show it to you. I'll talk about it more when I can actually show it to you. That's why I'm kind of playing the tower, because it's the tower, but there's actually a lot of the stuff I'm trying to talk about here, so we're gonna talk about it. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, there we go. Anyways, so we'll get back to glue strike, but yeah, it's a very strong thing. I don't know my feelings about it because I feel like it's a bug. It is strong. It's not like game-breaking strong. It's not like you get 400 level gear, which is a different bug, which I will not be participating in because that's just kind of stupid. Anyways, well, that was actually kind of close. Anyways, our next thing we're going to talk about is something that was a big problem for me at the end of the video last time. It was the Torment quiver. Torment quiver is one of the quiver artifacts. In my opinion, it is the best one because quite like the harpoon one, that's eh. Fire one, that's eh. Fireworks arrow, I will mention. It's okay. It's still eh. I think Torment quiver is the best one. But during my original ranged video, when I tried to talk about the Torment quiver, I made a few wrong assessments because I just was not familiar with how it worked. So I did a bit more research and I figured out a little more. Anyways, let me show off, before I get too deep into Torment quiver, I'm going to show off what glue strike looks like. Actually, I cannot because all the mobs are going to die in one hit. So maybe I'll show it. There are a few tower guards here, so we'll see. Oh, I have to break their shields first. I'm sorry, I looked away, I looked towards my health bar, so I did not see if it actually worked. Okay, well, man, this is not going how I intended. I'm just going to talk about the Torment quiver now. So the Torment quiver, it's a quiver artifact, costs souls, a pretty short cooldown time, that's why I like it, because you can constantly have the arrows. The damage is boosted by overcharge, and it's boosted by most of the, traditional stuff. It's pretty standard when it comes to that. Sorry, I'm kind of just rambling because I'm trying to pay attention to this tower. But it is boosted by power, supercharge. If you shoot a charge shot, it affected by multi-shot. I already mentioned that in the first one, and I mentioned those other parts in my little corrections rant. And man, was that tiring. It does apply Void Strike, and it does because if you know how the Torment quiver works, you hit the mob, it pushes them back, but it also does damage to them multiple times. And if you have Void Strike, each of those hits after the first will do more and more damage. It doesn't reset. I don't know if that's a Torment quiver thing or if that's a glue strike thing. I think it's a mix of the two. So honestly, I consider that, honestly, Torment quiver is so janky that I'd consider that fair use for glue strike. It is not boosted by artifact damage. If you have armor that's like Soul Dancer robe or Splendid robe, that's say 50% artifact damage, that does not apply to the Torment quiver. I still need to check if that applies to the other quivers. I will be doing corrections for my video about corrections in the pinned comment. So if you have not already been scrolling the comments, please go take a look at that right now, because I hate witches so much. Alright, we're back on track. Someone left? You get over there. Oh, you can see here. No, you did not, because I took too long. I don't know how glue strike works super well, but I've seen the general premise has happened, I think, on screen. I don't know, I haven't been paying too close attention. I've been trying to talk. Back to the Torment quiver. Not boosted by artifact damage. It is boosted by the range damage boost, like from the archer's armor. So that part does work. Other things is it is boosted by soul focus. So you can have soul focus that will increase the damage by 30%. I did show that though in the original video, so that part's not new. And yeah, I mean, it was mainly just to say Void Strike is lowered by Burst Bowstring, because Burst Bowstring is a hot topic in this video. The damage does reduce, although normally the damage of your bow does not affect the Torment quiver. Burst Bowstring does. Burst Bowstring will shoot weaker arrows. Lastly, the fireworks arrow, I didn't mention it. I don't think it's that good, and I don't really intend on using it. I just watched someone, when I was trying to figure out how burst bowstring worked, they just had a really cool looking thing with burst bowstring with the fireworks arrow. It was Winter's Touch, and just blowing up everything. And it looked cool, but fireworks arrow is quite frankly not as impressive on first glance, or on second glance, because it is affected by the bow level, which means you do need to get a strong 263 weapon as compared to the Torment quiver. And the reason I think the Torment quiver is so convenient, it's because you're not required to get a 263 thing, which saves you a lot of grinding. It's honestly one of my favorite parts of the Torment quiver. It saves you that grinding. I mean, however, I just got a bow that I'd use with the Torment quiver anyways, so how much did that really save? Anyways, yes, it is affected by the bow level. It is affected by burst bowstring. It does trigger void strike, but obviously since it only hits one time, that doesn't, like, it's not going to stack, and fireworks arrow takes too long to come off. So yes, if you could do 2 fireworks arrows, or you had 2 fireworks arrows, it would. And the firework arrow does apply void strike to the area. It just is not affected by its own void strike because it's just the first hit. That's all I really had for this bow corrections. It honestly is not much. This entire video was just an excuse for me to talk about burst bowstring. In summary, very powerful enchantment, goes great with cooldown shot. Not really for damage, but I guess you could. Cooldown shot, and if you combine that with the Winter's Touch, it becomes Winter's Touch not only is the best power bow, it's also the best support bow. It becomes another wither armor, and you know how I feel about the wither armors, so you can think of whatever you feel about the Winter's Touch. You can use it. I'm not going to judge it nearly as much as the wither armor, but I mean, in general, that video is still mostly correct, especially if you hate rolling. So honestly, if you don't roll, that video is perfectly fine and no modifications need to be made other than maybe glue strike. But I don't know how you feel about glue strike. I know how I feel. Or I actually don't know how I feel about glue strike. So I'm going to run a poll asking about if I should use glue strike in videos. We're talking about bows and I get 3 bows and I proceed to also get 3 terrible bows. Jeez. We'll take the love spell bow. Yeah, also, yeah, did I already say it? Burst bowstring. Oh, I don't think I said it. Burst bowstring is strongest as a support bow, obviously with the Winter's Touch, because you just get those extra arrows, and you can have multi-shot, which is just, I think you can see where that's going. But it is actually best with, as just a purely support thing, it is best with the Pink Scoundrel, because you have, the damage doesn't matter, so you just get the benefit of having Deflect, you have the benefit of having Wild Rage. Another thing I forgot to mention is that the Trick Bows, which is the Pink Scoundrel, and also the Bubble Burster. Where is that thing? Whoa, I just hit a bunch of buttons. The Bubble Burster, not this one, the Bubble Burster. I actually don't think I have a Bubble Burster. I only have a special event version, right? No, I picked up one. I picked up one a while ago. Hits multiple targets when charged. Burst Bowstring, you're charged. This is Reliable Ricochet, that's its other name. So this one's also good in your Burst Bowstring support role. So are the Trick Bows. In general, Burst Bowstring is incredibly strong. I'm going to start trying to work out roll builds because of that, so stay tuned for that. I apologize for forgetting to mention Burst Bowstring at all in the original video. That was a huge oversight on me, and that was a big mistake. But here I am trying to right my wrongs. That'll be it for this video. It's kind of a shorter one, even though it's kind of a longer one. This is one of it's the shortest unedited video I have on the channel so far. Which, thank you, by the way. The channel has grown so much in this time it's been up. It's really impressive, actually. It's really cool to see that so many people are playing. Thank you for all the people who've given me kind words, and thank you for all the people who've given me good feedback, and helpful feedback when it comes to the game. And thank you for the people who gave me that feedback, even though some people were very rude about it. But that's just me. I I got scared because a lot of people were very aggressive when they realized I did not mention burst bowstring a single time, so I felt bad and I made this video. But hey, here it is. Sorry, I forgot this enchantment existed. That's completely my fault. This is 20 minutes of me talking about burst bowstring. Not fully talking about burst bowstring, but these 20 minutes are dedicated to burst bowstring. It's a great enchantment. Try it out. It's cool. Anyways, yeah, I have more tower to grind. Work on the armors video, which will be coming, and that'll be my next edited video. So see you then. I'm gonna keep working on it. Bye.